Hi folks, Alex Klingelhafer here with Exential Wealth Advisors. It's 7:16 here in the middle part of the country. On Wednesday, it is June 23rd, 2021. Here's your morning jog around the economic headlines of the world. Just across the wires here about 10 minutes ago, the AstraZeneca Pfizer vaccines are safe against the Delta COVID-19 variant. It's also safe against the Kappa COVID-19 variant. Of course, we're seeing a tremendous upswing in COVID right now, but only for unvaccinated counties here in the U.S., mainly among the South, Mississippi, Alabama. We're talking about states that have less than 30% vaccination rates. The COVID vaccines for AstraZeneca is still not approved in the U.S. It's going to be shipped mainly to Europe. Of course, Pfizer being one of the really big vaccines that is used here, being effective against Delta 19, should allow folks to stop worrying about different variants. All of these variants don't really seem to be much different when it comes to getting sick after you've been vaccinated. So if you're on the fence, maybe consider this as something to push you over the edge. Get a vaccine and you will be very safe. If not, that's okay too. It is a risk, right? You're just weighing some risks. Right now, it looks like the risks of getting the vaccine are a little bit lower. Flight attendants are calling for stricter controls on passengers during airline flights. They're saying that folks are being fairly unruly. More than 3,100 reports of unruly behavior on planes since the start of the year. Quite frankly, anecdotally, I'm hearing this a lot from clients that are traveling. I've been on a couple airplanes myself, haven't seen it personally, but folks are saying that unruly passengers, whether it's having to do with a mask wearing on a plane or perhaps, just being agitated. My theory is when someone has a mask on, you don't see them quite as a person as you used to when they didn't have a mask on. They sort of become this sort of weird, sort of Star Warsian stormtrooper figure if they have a mask on. Of course, flight attendants have to have a mask on during the flight. Everybody has to have a mask on. So I think it just leads to a little bit more confrontation. Hopefully, once we have a greater share of the population that does have the vaccine, we can all take the masks off and just learn to get along when we're on those long, uncomfortable cross-country flights. Last, before we get you off to a nice Wednesday, Europe's economy bouncing back considerably. Some new European PMI data released just this morning, 59 as a PMI index, just to give you a perspective on how robust that growth is. And we've been talking about this a lot, right? US, 7% growth this year. Europe, about 8 weeks behind because of COVID, their vaccine rollout going a little bit slower. 59 PMI in Europe is the best data in 15 years, since the boom times of 2006, 2007, 2008, of course, before the financial market collapsed later that year. Really, really strong economic data, huge logistical challenges, but the world is really coming back strong from this crisis. We will see it in earnings. We will see it in profits. Of course, we're seeing it in stock markets, but I don't think these great numbers are still that baked in, right? 7% GDP growth is something we haven't had in decades. It's going to start showing on the bottom line of some of the biggest and the best companies. If you want some additional information throughout the week, some additional takes, perspectives, etc., feel free to follow me. Of course, as always, it's on Twitter. It's OKC CFA CFP. Until then, hope you have a good Wednesday. I am out.